Okay, y'all, this is what your water heater looks like without the metal covering and the insulation. And I gotta tell you, man, this was not easy getting down to this, to the bare tank. It was not easy. The insulation is stuck to everything. I mean, you know, I had to go buy a new tool. I had to buy a grinder. I think they called it a die cutter. You know, it's the thing with the, it's the thing that'll cut through metal. All right, which is okay. I mean, I can reuse it for other stuff, but man, at first I pounded away at this thing, and I mean, I pounded. I even told my neighbor, if it's too loud, let me know, and I'll, you know, and I'll stop. But she was okay with it. But I gotta tell you, this was not easy. I pounded away for an hour trying to get the insulation, and then I decided I got maybe 1/8 of the way done, and then I said to hell with this, and I went to Harbor Freight, and I bought the die cutter. I don't know what they call this thing. It's a grinder, all right. And then what I did was I cut you know, pieces about this big. I cut it down, all the way down, and then I was able to bend that down, and then I had to chip away at all the insulation. And now I'm just going to sand it and get the little bit of insulation that's left. I'm going to get that off. I could probably burn it off, but let me see how this goes. Okay, I'm not really sure why I'm doing this. You know, my water heater took a dump, so I went and I got a new water heater, and this is the old one. And I thought, well, let me take this thing apart and see maybe I can make something out of this. All right, so that's basically what I'm doing. But like I said, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it. I do have an idea, but you know, I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, this is an experiment. It seems that everything I do lately is an experiment. So anyway, if anybody has an idea of what to do with this thing, okay. I was taking suggestions on what to do, but not anymore. I figured it out what to do. All right, now listen, first of all, I'm not sure if I have all the things in the right order on this video. It's a very long video. It's 40-some minutes. And I might have some things out of order, but just, you know, forgive me. Deal with it. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, which I don't blame you one bit, then go to about 32 minutes and you will see the final product. Okay, so yeah, this is the water heater that was leaking, and I took off the metal casing that was on it, and I scraped away all of the insulation that was on it, and I ended up with a tank. All right, now, you know, I didn't really have a solid idea of what to do. You know, I did ask for suggestions, and I would like to say thanks for everybody who gave me a suggestion. Thank you. Sorry I didn't use your suggestions, but I had an idea of my own, and I stuck with it, and it came out really cool. I gotta tell you, it is really cool. I have it in the house now, and it's nice. I love it. However, It was a lot of work. You know, I don't know if I would ever do this again. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I think I will email a picture or two to different plumbing companies around town, and I'm going to put some ridiculous price on it, and and I'll see what happens. You know, I know a guy who owns a plumbing company, and what they do is when they replace someone's hot water heater, they take the old one and they bring it back to the shop, and they throw them in the backyard, you know, and then when they accumulate a whole bunch of them, then they send a guy down to the recycle place, and you know, he throws them into the pile, and they recycle the metal. So I have an endless supply of water heaters if I want them, you know. Actually, I know two guys that own plumbing businesses, so you know, I could you know, I could have as many as I want. The question is, do I want? I mean, man, this was, I know it doesn't seem like a lot of work, but it really was a lot of work. Also, I welded 4 legs onto this one. I learned how to weld, and the legs are nice and strong, and the weld doesn't look real nice, but, you know, is the first thing I ever welded. So, you know, I'm sure I'll get better over time. But anyway, somebody had a suggestion that I bury it a foot into the ground on an angle and weld some fins on the bottom, which would actually be the top. You know, if I stuck it in the ground, weld some fins on it and put on their SpaceX, and then cut a big hole in it and have the smoke coming out through the back, you know, like a rocket. Man, that would be a great idea. That'd be really funny. All right, so anyway, here, this is what I used to cut the side open and also to cut the top off. Hold on one second. There's some real audio coming up. Hold on. Okay. I'm not sure if I should leave that audio in or not. YouTube really doesn't like when you put someone's music in. Hopefully they won't notice. Anyway, what I discovered is I don't really need to cut the top off if I can bend the acrylic to make a door. See, that's the problem. You know, everything that I planned on doing, every plan changed 3 or 4 times. Because, you know, it's the first time I ever did this, and I don't know what I'm doing, you know, and I admit it. Okay, so for instance, I wanted to make a door on the front with acrylic. I even have the hinges for the door and the handle. But the problem is the acrylic, it wouldn't bend. So the way I have it set up now is I put on the one side the acrylic, and then I bent it and I screwed it in the other side real quick, you know, because it wants to spring back. You know, it wants to go back to its original position. So so that's where it is. The acrylic is on the outside, but it's being bent by the screws that are holding it. I don't know if that makes sense or not. What I wanted to do was I wanted to bend the acrylic so that I could make a door. Put the hinges on, have a handle, and open it and close it from the door. But that didn't work out. See, what I did was I put the acrylic on the tank, and then I tied the acrylic down with rope, and then I poured boiling water on the acrylic. And then I tightened the rope, and then I poured more boiling water, and then I tightened the rope again. I kept tightening it until it was the shape of the tank. And I kept adding boiling water, and that seemed to work until I took the rope off. And when I took the rope off, it sprung back. It didn't come back 100% flat, but it did spring back. So hold on, let me see if I can find one of the bending videos, and I'll insert it right in here. Hold on a second. Okay, I found the video where I'm trying to bend the acrylic. Okay, so look, it's going to add a couple minutes onto the video, so if you want to just watch the ending of the video, you have to go to 35 minutes. Okay, so anyway, here it is. Now, the acrylic has paper on both ends to protect it. And what I'm doing here is I'm tying it onto the back of the tank. I'm trying to get it to bend so that I could make a door. Wait a minute, let me turn this guy off. Hold on. I'm trying to make a door, which means I could put the acrylic on the outside of the tank. All right, right now the acrylic is on the outside, but it's screwed in. And the reason it's screwed down is to keep the bend. In other words, once I bent it like this, I let it sit overnight, and then I poured some more boiling water on it, and the next day I took off the tape and the rope, and it sprung right back. It went back to its flat shape. It still had a little bit of a bend, but not what I wanted. Now, since then, I have looked up how to bend acrylic. And what I need is 260 degrees heat, and that will bend it. Now, the problem is I don't have 260 degree heat. So what do? Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this out. I was thinking of taking the tank like it is now and putting some charcoal inside the tank to heat the tank up. And that might heat it up enough to where the acrylic would bend and keep the bend. That's the whole thing, is once I took the tape and the rope off of this, well, it sprung back flat. Although, like I said, it still had a little bit of a bend. It's not what I wanted. So I got to figure out how to heat this up to 260 degrees and, and go from there. Right now, boiling water is only 212 degrees. So it's not cutting it. And I don't have an oven big enough. I wish I did. Because that would be perfect to have the door on hinges and be able to open and close it from the outside. That would be perfect. In that case, if I could get the door on the outside, then I wouldn't need to cut the top off. But as it is, I cut the top off, and the the acrylic does not open and close. You have to take out 5 screws out of one side, and then you can get to the inside of it. But it's not, it's not easy. So that was another plan that changed in midstream. There's a whole bunch of things that changed. For one, cutting the top off, I should have laid it down when I cut the top off to begin with, because the top was not straight. The cut was not straight, and then I had that's what I'm doing there. I'm straightening out the cut. Vertical cuts are easy to make. Horizontal are not easy. They come out crooked. You could see the sides there I cut vertically, and that was a piece of cake. But cutting them horizontal, it's hard. It's hard to keep the cut straight. All right, can you see all that calcium inside there? It's incredible how much calcium there was. Wait, there's a part here where I actually show you how much calcium I took out of the bottom of the tank. I know we have hard water here, but man, I never realized it was this hard. Oh, that calcium, man, is just unreal. There's like 20 pounds. It's 2 full gallons of calcium that was at the bottom of the tank. Unbelievable. I would hate to see what the pipes look like. Man, the pipes have got to be just full of that stuff. Ooh, it's raining outside. There's a thunderstorm. Oh boy. All right. So anyway, I thought I had sped this up, but I guess not. Hold on. Let me stop it and I'll speed it up. Hold on a sec. All right. There we go. Okay, so now the ending has changed again. So if you want to see the ending, you got to go to 20 minutes. But it's kind of late now to tell you that, because most people are going to be they're going to be out of it anyway. All right. So look at this. This is the calcium that was inside the water tank. All right? This is hot water. It really is incredible. I just couldn't believe how much there was. I can't imagine the pipes. The pipes have got to be full of this stuff. I mean, if that's what's in the tank, I mean, it's got to be in the pipes also. Wow, crazy, man. All right, now wait a minute. What the heck is this? It looks like I have part of this out of order. But anyway, here I am trying to straighten out the cut on top. See, when I first made this cut, the tank was standing up. And like I said, horizontal cuts are hard. It's hard to keep them straight. The vertical cuts are easy because you're just going from the top down. But horizontal, you're going from left to right, and it's hard to keep those cuts straight. All right, so there, I solved that problem. I just, I cut it off even. Oh, this is good. I'm glad it's raining outside. They're fill up the rain barrels. Okay, so yeah, we've seen this part already. You know what? I had so many little clips that I got mixed up. I got confused. You know what I mean? There's still a couple clips that are missing, but I'm not gonna search for them. All right, we're coming up on the yeah, we're coming up on the, whatchamacallit, on the finished product. Here it is. This is it. And I have to admit, this was a lot of work. I mean, it's crazy, man. There, you can see the feet. Well, no, you can't really. It came out very nice. I really do like it. Now, whether I'm going to do it again, I don't know. Although, the second time, I'm sure will be easier. I'm sure it will take only half the time. All right, what I have in there is, I've got a callous lily. I've got morning glories that are just popping out. They're going to climb up those trellises. I've got, what else? I've got some kind of vine. I don't know what it is. It's like a weed. It's in the back also. You know, everything in there is, you know, real small. They're babies. Oh, I've got Ruella or Ruellia. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. But they have these purple flowers. Man, they're really cool. There's one of those in there. They're called Mexican petunia. And what else? And I've got this ground cover stuff. I don't know what it's called either. But yeah, it's pretty cool in there too. It'll cover everything on the ground eventually. I've got some other things I can't remember what they are, but anyway, the lights are really cool. On the left and the right side, there's two strips of lights, and you can either have red light, white light, blue light, or you could have all three. Also, each one, the red, white, and blue lights, each one can be controlled as far as the brightness. You have 5 different levels of brightness. Plus, there's timers on the lights. So, you know, all you got to do is just set the timer and just leave the thing alone. I think I have the red and blue on right now, I think. Okay, there we go. That's just white. There's the different levels of brightness. Now on the top, I have another light. It's a round LED. I'll show you here in a minute. I open it up and I'll show you. See, the top opens. I put the top on hinges. Like I said, I was trying to get the acrylic to bend so I could make a door. That was the plan, to make a door, but it didn't work. The acrylic needs to have some heat, 260 degrees. And I just have to figure out how I can do 260 degrees. Like I said, I was thinking of, you know, laying a blanket. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Lay the tank down. Lay a blanket on the tank. Put the acrylic on the tank with the rope and the duct tape. And then put some charcoal inside the tank. Enough to heat up, and maybe put the whole thing into a big cardboard box. 260 degrees will not start cardboard on fire. No, it will not. So if I did that, if I had the heat coming from the tank and put the whole thing into a cardboard box, I might be able to heat the acrylic enough to where it would stay in that shape. Then I could make a door. That's the ultimate goal. Wow, it's raining like crazy. Woo, man. Holy mackerel. So anyway, what I have on the bottom is I have a pan on the inside, and then I drilled a hole in the pan and I put a hose in the hole, and then there's a pan underneath the the thing to catch any water, so the water just doesn't drip out. All right, there's the ring, the light on top, that round part. That's a LED light. It also has a timer, and it also can be dimmed, but it's only white light. All right, so now, like I said, the top is on hinges. So the top, you know, I can get into the thing through the top. I love it. It's really nice. It really is. I'll make another video in a couple months when everything is you know, full grown. I'm trying to figure out which colors I like better. I think I like them all. All right, thanks for watching. And oh, it's that time. I gotta go. I gotta eat.